Hello, welcome back to Ever17 out of Infinity. I tried to organize my thoughts as I looked for you. I realized there were 6 things I knew for sure. 1. Yu's father, Yoichi Tanaka, had apparently died 34 years before. 2. And Yu's mother, Yuki Tanaka, had died 15 years before. 3. Yu had heard from her mother that Yoichi had disappeared 17 years before. 4. Yu's mother was still researching archaeology at Limu. 5. From the written records of A and B, I knew that Yoichi and Yuki had a daughter. 6. Last, both of her parents' deaths had something to do with the Tiefblau virus. I wondered what we could possibly find out about these facts. As I was walking out the corridor, Sarah suddenly appeared around the corner. "Where's Yu?" Sarah shook her head. I see. I wonder what I should do. Of course I will. But I wonder what I should do. Huh? I thought you said that she wanted to be alone. But you went and it didn't help, right? It shouldn't matter. For what? Say what? I was astounded. Numbed by the conversation, I tried to argue. I'm no hero, and I'm sure I'm not a knight. That's a stupid thing to say. Sarah pointed down the corridor. Oh, alright. Worn down by the powers of Sarah's persuasion, I gave in. But just let me ask you one more thing. Why me? If it has to be a guy, why not Takeshi? Huh? Sarah let out a defiant laugh. Sarah told me where Yu was, and I went to find her. I spotted Yu's back from behind the merry-go-round. She was looking down. She was sitting, her head clutching the ride. Yu. Calling out to her, I went closer. Yu turned her face toward me and gave me an agonized look. And spoke. Don't talk to me. Aww. Stay away from me. No. We have to help you out somehow. I can't leave you alone. It was the honest truth. I sat down near you. I spoke exactly what came into my mind. I remember what you said when we first met. You said, I am you. I am you. You are me. We are the same. You're not alone. I was no knight in shining armor, and there wasn't much I could do by myself. So don't struggle with this alone. Let's think through it together. But I thought that we could get through it together. I nodded firmly. So, what do we know so far? That's not all, is it?
15年前よ。15年前。私が3歳の時よ。物心つく前よ。私がここにやってくる直前まで、お母さんは私の目の前でピンピン飛び跳ねてたんだからね。
What is going on? That's what you said.
そうらしいじゃなくて、そうなの。一体どういうことよ。何が間違ってて、何が正しいの。私を育ててくれたあの人は誰だったの。私のお父さんは誰なの。どこ行っちゃったの。わけがわからない。
Like a dam bursting, you spewed out all of the bad feelings that had brewing inside her. Wait, just calm down.
十分落ち着いてるわよ。
You're losing your composure and ability, Judge.
私はいつだって冷静よ。
To Judge.
いい？答えはもう出てるの。お父さんは17年前に失踪したまま行方がわからない。そして今もどこかで生きてる。お母さんも生きてる。今も家で私の帰りを待ってる。これがたった一つの真実よ。永久不変の定理よ。よって証明不要。
Look, you're jumping to conclusions.
黙らさい。あんたもあのポンコツレミと一緒でバグってんのよ。
Idiot, you're the one who's messed up.
なんですって？
You're pretty smart, right?
どっちなのよ。
And I thought you were strong. You were the one who said that your knowledge wasn't for defense, it was for offense. It was the first time that I've ever met a girl who said anything like that. I never thought you'd be weak like this. So why are you acting like this now? Come on, let's just be logical and think this through one point at a time, the way you always do. The reason you're confused is the information is conflicting, right? Because you think that part of it can't be right. So let's start by sorting fact from fiction, beginning with what you know. You know a lot about a lot of things. You have the materials in your head to sort this thing out. You out of anyone should be able to tell what is a lie. Right? You turned her eyes away from me. She bit down hard on her lip. She finally looked down and closed her eyes as if she were thinking. I could tell that she was trying hard to accept the possibility that maybe the facts might be true.
そうだね。私どうかしてた。
Finally, you lifted her face.
本当にどうかしてたよ。ごめんなさい。
You gave a little nod. Alright. What do we do? Finally, it was time to start deducing things. We decided to start breaking things down with the things that were clear. Like, what was TF-Blah or TB? You explained that it was a malignant virus that had an extremely high death rate which had ravaged the world in the past. She said that it was first discovered more than 30 years before. So, time-wise, there was nothing strange if her father had died of TB 30 years ago and her mother died 15 years ago. Furthermore, the world was now free of TB, and a decade earlier, the World Health Organization had officially declared the disease eradicated. What you didn't know was when her parents were supposed to have died. You didn't know what she was to make of this information since it was 16 years before she was born, and the mother that had raised her. She said she had just seen her face just the other day, but she was supposed to have died 15 years before. We figured that there were 4 possibilities. 1. Yuichi had not actually died, but only disappeared 17 years before, and Yuki was still alive. 2. Yuichi had not actually died, but only disappeared 17 years before. However, Yuki had passed away 15 years before. 3. Yuichi had died 34 years before, but Yuki was still alive and well. 4. Yuichi had died 34 years before, and Yuki 15 years before. We didn't know which was truth and which was fiction. It was incredibly confusing. We decided to consider the possibilities one by one. These theories are based on information from the following 4 sources. A. A file compiled by Sora concerning the death of Yuki Tanaka. B. The chat log from A and B, the only source of information about Yuichi's death. C. What Yu's mom had told her, the only source of information about Yuichi's disappearance. D. The existence of Yu's mom. We moved to the security office and checked the file concerning the death of Yuki Tanaka again. With as much evidence as there was in the file, it looked like Yuki's death was indeed a fact. We set aside the question of whether she were actually Yu's real mother for the time being. So we were able to narrow it down to possibilities 2 and 4. 2, Yoichi had not actually died, but only disappeared 17 years before. However, Yuki had passed away 15 years before. 4, Yoichi had died 34 years before, and Yuki 15 years before. We deduced that that would mean that if Yuki were dead, then that meant that Yu's mother had been lying to her all these years. We didn't bother ourselves about the possibility of 2 women having the same name. If we could determine that Yuki was lying, then the reliability of her information about Yoichi's disappearance would drop dramatically. That would strongly boost the possibility that the 4th theory was right. 4, Yoichi had died 34 years before, and Yuki 15 years before. If he died that long ago, then how would he give birth to you? No, I said wait, quit jumping to conclusions. I don't understand. You're still impatient. We're still trying to sort this out, right? Just then, the lights started flickering on and off. See, the lights agree with me. The lights went out. Finally, they flashed back on. It seems like the lights are in bad shape. I wonder if it's another blackout. Well, I don't want to either. That'd be pretty low. The light conversations seem to lift Yu's spirits. Okay then. Huh? I heard a voice far off. It sounds like he's looking for you. After a bit, Takeshi appeared. I don't know about that. What? No, I'm not touching that. I shook my head vigorously. And what was it you came for? Repair the generator? I didn't believe it. Yeah, the lights did just go out a little bit ago. I see. It seemed that Yu still wasn't back to normal. I could tell that she was just pretending she was fine. I thought that if I let her go to make repairs in this state of mind, she might get hurt. Hey, Takeshi, I'll go with you to do the repairs. It looks like Yu is a bit worn out. It'll be fine. I'll try hard. So let me... okay, help. A desperate attempt at persuasion succeeded, and I had to help. We started to work after lunch. But... ouch, Takeshi, that hurts. Takeshi grinned sadistically as he patted my right arm, which was supported by a cast. The cast was made of a specially formulated plastic. It was lighter than I had expected and not too cumbersome. Takeshi had put the cast on me with instructions from Sora. Sora said she had something else to do and left the work to Takeshi. Be quiet. I told you my leg slipped. You're the one that forced the tools to me. On me. Yep. Try to pin this on me. You're the one that jumped off without anything. Takeshi was making excuses. Okay, fine. It was all my stupid fault. I looked at the cast wrapped around my right arm. While we were repairing the generator, I had lost my balance holding the heavy toolbox and fallen off the machine. Easy for you to say. Takeshi took a transparent object that could easily be mistaken for a gun at a glance. It was a syringe used to inject a cartridge filled with a cocktail of antibiotics, fever medicine, painkillers, and vitamins. Okay. Takeshi put the needle against my left arm. It turned to night. Dinner time rolled around. Just like always, we filled our empty bellies with chicken sandwiches made by Takeshi. We wanted to change of pace, to do something fun, so we spread out a blanket in the park's resting area. We thought it would kind of put us in a picnic mood. The blanket was from a shop stocking them on the same floor, so it had Wimu's Mian Mian label printed on it. Sora couldn't eat, but she sat with us, smiling just the same. It seemed that was fun for her. Sarah had just gone to get more drinks from the kiosk. Yu wasn't around. She didn't feel well and was resting in the infirmary. So Sarah was going to make her a sandwich later. As if drawn by a sense, Tsugumi appeared. As if she didn't notice or didn't care, Tsugumi parked herself on Mian Mian's face and started munching a sandwich. Of course, Takeshi started complaining, but Tsugumi just ignored him. She simply sat there eating and drinking by herself. I stared at her absent-mindedly. I wondered if I were still stuck on those words. Ever since then, Tsugumi had left me mostly alone. I wondered what she was thinking about just then. I was mulling that when... all of a sudden, Sarah screamed from the direction of the kiosk. Hearing that, Takeshi forgot about Tsugumi for an instant and ran to the kiosk. Sora and I followed him. Some of the food and boxes in the kiosk had been damaged. Whoa, what a mess! I wonder if the hot dogs were the work of the rat too. She was right, the stuff in the fridge was fine. It looked like we were in no immediate danger of starving. Takeshi, our de facto cook, was livid. He was so mad he couldn't speak. His face went bright red and his whole body shook with anger. Tsugumi was enjoying it though. What's so funny? She pointed at Takeshi as she said this. Takeshi snapped. So raging Takeshi said about trying to rig up a trap to catch the rat, and he ended up making me help him try to design and set it up. Going along with him was the only way to calm him down. Somehow I was able to help him using my one good arm to cover for my lame one. The trap he tried to make was a useless contraption pieced together from stuff in the warehouse. I won't go to the pain of trying to describe it. He didn't finish until the middle of the night. My mind and body were both worn out. I headed to where Yu was. I was worried about her and wanted to touch base on the theories about her parents. What? Do you need something?
ナッキュ先輩からの伝言を伝えに来たの。
From you? I was just going to see her.
先輩ならもう出かけちゃってるから救護室にはいないと思うよ。
Is she feeling better?
うん、だいぶ楽になったって言ってた。
Oh, well, that's good. And what is the message?
あ、そうそう。これから例のところに行くから少年も来てだって。
The place?
そういえばわかるって言ってたけど。
The place. Is it that? Did that mean...
ねえね
What?
え、なんか知らないうちにうまいことやってるみたいじゃん。早くも真夜中の合いびきですか。うりうり憎いね憎いね。
I didn't think I knew what she was talking about. The theory was half-baked.
時に少年よ、一体どんな慰め方をしたのかね。あの先輩を瞬殺したぐらいだからきっとものすごいテク使ったんじゃろ。
She didn't fall. I fell, and that's how I hurt my arm.
またまたすっとぼけちゃって。しびっとだけ教えてみ。あんなテクやこんなテクかね。いやーダメだってば。これ以上言わせたら18禁だよ。
What was she talking about? I don't know what you were talking about. I just gave her a helping hand.
なんといきなしそげなことまで要求しちゃったのですか。
Huh?
それでもう大丈夫だって。誰にも言ったりしないから。ダメ？
I thought it was risky to continue the conversation and decided to take a hint from history and see no more, speak no more, hear no more. Sarah finally got the idea. Ultimately, Sarah gave up, and since I figured that you was waiting for me, I started walking. I thought about what you meant by the place. I figured it was probably the Marine ruins. Just like I had the day before I visited the ruins, I figured I would find you there. It felt like I traveled through time and opened the door to an ancient time. Speaking of time travel, you had scoffed at it, but I still hadn't given up on the theory. It was the only one that made sense to me. There was no other way to explain things. I entered the ruins. I continued through the maze-like passages. Trying not to get lost, I racked my memory. Fortunately, I remembered the path I'd taken the day before. It was still fresh in my mind. It was like I had been through the area dozens of times. Finally.
Yahoo!
Hey, I found you. She was in the same spot as the day before, at the Sun Temple. And she was sitting on the same obelisk, sitting hugging her knees. I sat down next to her. Do you feel better now?
おかげさまでね。
That's good to hear.
それにしてもよくここまでたどり着けたね。
It was the only place I could think of.
そうじゃなくて、よくここまでの経路を覚えてたなって。
Hey. What are you talking about? You called me here, right?
そうだよ。
Don't tell me. You thought that I wouldn't find my way back.
そう冗談だよ。本当はね、ちょっと試してみたの。
Test me?
そう、大迷宮をくぐり抜き、悪のドラゴンを打ち倒し、囚われのお姫様を救出してくれるのかどうか、さっそうとヒーローが現れてくれるのかどうか、白馬の王子様を試してみたかったの。
Yeah, you heard that from Sarah, right?
そうだよ。
And you were supposed to be the princess?
僭越ながら。
I'm going back. I stood up.
ひっどい。私じゃ服だって言うの？
That's not it at all. I just can't handle this kind of game right now. I'm completely worn out, and I've got this broken arm.
あ、右手。
You belatedly noticed my arm. Standing, I went to return on the road that I'd used in coming, but you came after me.
ねえ、ちょっと待ちなさいってば。
Leave me alone. If all you want to do is talk about your stupid fantasies, I'd rather get some sleep.
怪我しちゃったんだ。私をかばったせいで。名誉の負傷ってやつだね。
She just won't give up. As I was about to complain, you gently laid her hand on my hard cast.
まだ痛む？
Only a little. I lied. Thanks to the medicine, it didn't really hurt at all.
痛くなくなるおまじないかけてあげようか。
A spell?
お母さん直伝の絶対に効くっていうお墨付きのやつ。せめてものお詫びにそれかけてあげるね。
You put both her hands on my cast gently, as if enveloping it and gently rubbing it. Started rubbing it. I just stood there. I could feel the heat from her palms through the cast. As she gently stroked my arm, you started whispering.
痛いの痛いの。ハンドル
Oh,
の
cute.
の彼方まで飛んでいけ。
Chin chin, pui pui, pui pui.
痛くなくなったっしょ。
A galaxy far, far away.
何よ、なんか文句あるわけ？
You didn't know. All of a sudden, I had the wild urge to laugh. It was something I never thought I'd hear come out of Yu's mouth, and it tickled incredibly. Yeah, it looks like you completely fixed it. My irritation vanished.
そっかそっか、それはよかったよかった。
We decided to go back to the hall.
嬉しかったよ。来てくれて。
Huh?
大迷宮をくぐり抜けて来てくれたでしょ。あとは姫君を救出するだけだね、王子様。
You just don't quit. Alright then, I guess I'm off to dispose of some evil dragon. Finally, I understand. The evil dragon that was holding you. It was Yu's past. Yay. She needed to be saved.
あのね、いくら強がってたって女の子はいつも待ってるんだよ。
I thought maybe even for me.
それじゃ、ついに再会。気合い入れていくぞ。
Suddenly I noticed a tart, refreshing aroma tickling my nose, mixed, just cutting through the mildew smell of the ruins. It was the scent of not yet ripened fruit. It was familiar. It smelled like the sun in the spring. We decided to reorganize the information we had. We thought about the data we had on her parents. Source files had Yu's mother, Yuki Tanaka, as dying 15 years ago. The company LAN had a chat log that had Yu's father, Yuichi Tanaka, as dying 34 years ago. However, Yu's mom had told her that her father had gone missing 17 years before. There were pictures and movies, but they could not be completely trusted as reliable. Yu had even said so herself. And what was most suspicious was the lady who Yu had always thought of as her mom. From what we could gather, the death of her parents, Yuichi and Yuki, were facts. That meant that her mother, or the lady who called herself that, could have been lying all along. Based on all of the information, we narrowed it down to the two most likely possibilities. 4. Yuichi had died 34 years before, and Yuki 15 years before. Hey, I bet this is what happened. Assuming that your mom and dad did die as a fact, then the person working at Wemo, I mean the person that you thought was your mom up to now, isn't your mom, but...
育ての親？
Yeah. Then your real dad could have died 34 years ago and your mom 15 years ago. So somebody that took pity on the orphan daughter, raised you, took you in and raised you. Muri,
田中陽
right?
一という人は。でも、それはありえないよ。
Hey, why?
だってそうでしょ？
Yo.
田中陽一という人は今から34年前に亡くなってるのよ。私が生まれたのは今から18年前。
Possible.
正確に言うと今から19年前の9月22日。どう考えても20年前の12月前後ぐらいまでは生きててもらわなくちゃ困るの。
I figured that this was an area I didn't really know much about, so I held my tongue. But she was right, it did sound fishy. The question was how to fill in the missing years. No way. Nothing.
何よ、言いなさいよ。気になるじゃない。
I don't think this could ever happen, but what if you were actually 33 years old?
33歳？
Really?
このみずみずしい肌が30代に見える？
Maybe. Not really, no. You don't look like it.
だよね。まあ、冗談はさておき。私が仮に33歳だとしたら、実年齢との間に15年間のギャップがあることになる。その空白の15年間は一体どこに消えたっていうの？私は少年みたいに記憶喪失になったこともないし、エイリアンに誘拐されたこともないし、亀を助けて竜宮城に行ったこともない。
Rip Van, what?
12歳の時、実は27歳だったって？そんなことあるわけないでしょ。5歳の時に20歳だった？ますますありえない。私はこれまでの18年間と7ヶ月とちょっとの人生の中で一度たりとも15年間のギャップなんてものを体感したことはないの。
A 15-year gap. Just listen, sorry to stop you, but let's get back on topic. This is actually what happened with her, is it? You were just talking about Rip Van Winkle, right? He falls asleep and... Rip Van Winkle, he falls asleep, and when he returns home... I got it. This is probably what happened.
タイムスリップしたとはなんてバカバカしいこと言い出さないよね。
But it would explain everything. Somewhere along the line, maybe when you were small, before you can even remember, I'll bet you jumped 15 years into the future. You were probably really born 33 years ago. That would mean that if Yuichi died 34 years ago, it all makes sense. Maybe. Okay.
タイムスリップなんて現象は絶対確実に起こりえないの。水が高いところから
Water flows downhill. But if you use a siphon, you can move water uphill.
そういうことじゃないの。あくまでもそれは例えであって。
But you're not the only one that experienced time travel. I did too. But my time travel was different. And I think it is probably the reason that I got premonitions about things. I was trapped here in Limu before.
どうしてそうやって探偵口調で言えるのかな。そのみなぎるような自信はどっから出てくるわけ？仮によ、もしも君がタイムスリップしたとして、もう一人の少年は一体どこにいるっていうの？
The other me? I remember on the night of May 1st, when the numbers for the life scan kept changing.
このレミューに閉じ込められた数日間を君は繰り返してるんでしょ？
Another me.
ここには過去の少年くんもいるはずじゃない。
That's, I know, only my memory is going back through time.
記憶喪失なのに？
That's exactly why I've lost my memory. Normally anything like a memory going back through time would defy common sense, but this time common sense is being defied. My brain couldn't deal with the situation and started to panic, so it tried to logically explain or deal with this situation, and so it erased all my memories.
あのね、熱弁振るってくれた後で悪いんだけどさ、そういうのは論理的な説明とは言わないの。それはただの量的な妄想。
So the day ended without us finding any answers. There has to be some explanation to this. The next morning, everybody slept in. I looked like everyone was pretty beat. When you and I saw each other as we exchanged good mornings as if everything were normal, It seemed like she wanted to act as if things were the same as always in front of everybody else, so I did my best to follow suit. Sleeping in made breakfast later than usual. Sora had put in a request and we were going to have another picnic. She really seemed to enjoy them. We spread out the same minion blanket near the rest area. I went to go check on the trap that we had set the night before while everyone was preparing, just in case we caught something. But just as I got to where we set it, I saw Takeshi breaking down the trap. Huh? You're cleaning it up? Takeshi nodded silently. Meaning that... Takeshi's shoulders slumped and he let out a big sigh. He looked so pathetic, I couldn't say anything else. When we had finally got everything ready, Tsugumi appeared out of nowhere. She again plopped herself down on the sheet and started munching away. I didn't know if Takeshi had matured overnight, but he held his tongue, though it was clear he was in a sulky mood. Sarah and Tsugumi didn't look at each other. It seemed like they were ignoring each other. Apparently they still weren't getting along. But everybody tried to make the best of it, eating, chatting, and having fun. I lost again. Aw. We heard. Oh, I did beat you that one time though. I am not. I'm trying to win. Dang it. I just kept losing. I know. Why? Silently held up my sandwich. She squeezed a ton of mustard onto my sandwich. The penalty was mustard, and my sandwich was already drenched in the stuff. My mouth felt like it was on fire before I even took a bite. Maybe thanks to that exchange, I was able to get through the whole thing without thinking about it too much. Suddenly someone cut across my field of vision. It was Tsugumi. Yeah, Tsugumi was walking toward Takeshi. She extended her hand. Right. Tsugumi nodded at Sora's extra explanation. She had already wolfed down her first one. Special? I had a bad feeling about the whole thing. Tsugumi took the sandwich without saying anything. Takeshi stared at Tsugumi as she took the wrap off the sandwich. I thought Takeshi would get angry, but he was just grinning as he watched Tsugumi start on her sandwich. Something was definitely not right here. I sucked in my breath and watched. Tsugumi bit into the sandwich. Takeshi laughed so hard he cried. What?
とにかく俺が見つけたありとあらゆる調味料とスパイス計34種をミックスした特製ソースで味付けしてあるんだからな。
ちょっと、それはいくらなんでもひどすぎるでしょ。そうだよ。
That's going too far, Takeshi.
うるさい。食い物の恨みはマリアナ海溝よりも深いのだ。
小町さん、すぐに吐き出してください。今すぐお水を、いえ、まずはお薬を。
大丈夫だって。ちょっと腹壊すだけで死ぬわけじゃねえよ。
That's not something you should do to a girl. I went to grab Takeshi with my left hand.
待って、平気だから。
Tsugumi mumbled this, stopping us.
なんちゅうタフさだ。
全然平気。
とか言いつつも本当は死ぬほどまずいんだべ。いいんだぞ、正直に言っても。
本当に平気よ。だってピザの味するだけだから。
Yay. What?
今なんておっしゃいました？何の味と？
ピザ。
本当に？
Tsugumi nodded.
ちょっとそれ貸せ！なわけねえだろ！
Takeshi went to grab the sandwich, but Tsugumi was too quick for him. Not only that, Takeshi caught his foot and fell to the floor. In that instant, Tsugumi polished off the sandwich.
ごちそうさま。確かにスペシャルタツタだったわね。
Yeah, she does look cute. So that ended with Tsugumi turning the tables like Takeshi. She does look pretty. I ended up cleaning the area up afterward. I separated the cans and sandwich wrappers and put them in garbage bags. You and Sarah helped. Takeshi said he was going to start getting ready for lunch and headed to the kiosk. Sora said she had to do some installing and left the control room. Tsugumi disappeared to somewhere unknown. But something happened when I was picking up garbage. Huh?
どうかしたの？
Nothing. Did somebody just call out?
はい？誰も呼んでないよ。
Really? Must be my imagination.
とかなんとか言っちゃって、本当はサボりたいだけなんでしょう。
I'm not. It's not that at all.
また例の幻聴？
Well, I...
お願いだからしっかりしてよね。疲れてんのはわかるんだけどさ。
We started picking up garbage again. We finally finished with the trash, folded the blanket, and we're done
さ
cleaning
て
up.
あとは軽く掃き掃除しておこうか。マヨ、お願いがあるんだけど、ほうきとちりとり持ってきてくれる？売店のとこにあるはずだから。ラジャーでござる。
Sarah set out for the kiosk. I was just thinking, this must be a nightmare for the people that clean this
人にやら
place.
せたら大変だろうね。でも普段はレミが制御する清掃ロボが全自動で館内を掃除してたから。
Wow.
まあこの事故のおかげでそのロボットも今頃は海水の中で錆び鉄になってるでしょうけど。
All bad.
しゃ、よいしょ。
What? I was hearing voices again.
考えてみればもうこのレミューそのものが巨大なスクラップみたいなもんよね。この後ここをどう始末するのやら。って何？どうしたの？もしかしてまた？もう君はいいから救護室にでも行って寝てなさい。こりゃ重傷だわ。
I was sure I'd heard something. This time, I was sure it wasn't my imagination.
掘ってるの。刻んでるの。
See, I really can hear something.
この石像に傷を刻み込んでるの。
Stone statue. I looked around the 4 stone statues at the edge of the open area, and there, atop the pedestal of a stone statue, was a girl. It is her again. She was standing there next to the figure I was going as a queen to the statue. Oh, it's that girl. It was the girl that I had seen and who had then vanished on the first. Look, you, right there. Look, over on that statue.
石像がどうかしたの？
Look, that stone statue. There's a girl there, see?
誰もいないよ。
Not there, over there. Oh, forget it. I'll go call to her.
少年！
I sprinted toward the stone statue. What could the girl be doing up there?
それは寂しかったから。
Lonesome?
それにあのね、悔しいの。
Sad? What is she talking about?
よーし、次は。
Just then, the girl lost her balance, falling from her awkward place on the pedestal. Look out! I ran toward her. The water caught on my feet and sprayed everywhere as I ran all to where she was. Will I make it? I closed my eyes, mustered all of my power, and sprinted. I threw out my free left hand to where the girl would be falling to catch her. I didn't feel anything. I thought maybe I hadn't reached her in time. Scared, I opened my eyes. What? There was no one in my arms, or even around me. Only the water sloshing about gently around me.
ちょっと大丈夫？かなり派手に転んだみたいだけど。
I looked above me. Of course, there was no one on the pedestal supporting the statue. Without saying anything, I got up and went behind the statue. There were scratches in the statue. There were deep notches that looked like they had been carved there by something hard and sharp. They were the shape of people. Really simple looking, like stick people. At the end of each stick was a little round face. There were 6 in all. Looking closer, I saw that next to the people figures were 2 carvings of animals that I'd never seen. I looked up at the statue. The statue was pointing diagonal and up toward the east.
あれ？何やってるんですか、2人とも。それがね。
I ignored them and gently touched the carvings on the statue. Without thinking, I blurted out, "Watch your step, okay?" That answer could have been my imagination that time. Yeah. There's that girl again. What is going on with her? I do not know. Bye!